I just want to talk about nerve pain and some of the mental gymnastics that goes into exercising with it, especially when you experience pain or like weird signals and you're not sure, while the pain is very real, whether or not you're actually like injuring yourself. To me, it's been kind of challenging to discern those things. And so I have a pinched nerve at the L4, L5. I have a bulge there. And I also broke my left hip and I had surgery. There's hardware there. And the way that the hardware is positioned, I get hip bursitis sometimes now. And so I have this like weird thing of like not knowing what is just a nerve flare up or what is or if something else is happening. Like there's a gap in discernment there. Like I can't always tell what's what. And I realized that I feel like I might be, wow. I feel like I'm being a little bit precious about, exercise and worrying that I am causing, whether it's a bursitis flare up or if I'm, pulling a muscle. Like nerve pain is so weird and it's so hard to tell what's what. And so what I think I'm going to start doing is what I did when I first got injured, which is just small bouts of exercise, like even if it's just like a few minutes here and there, and just see how I feel as the day goes on, and just see how that works, because that seemed to work pretty well before. And I've done this with all sorts of things, with weights, with taking walks. I ran for a little while, and I just want to see how that kind of progresses. But it is a really weird thing though, and I don't see anybody really talking about this. And I just want to say that if you're in it, I'm in it too, and it's just one of those challenging things. And with nerve stuff, it's so weird too, right? Because I do get like weird muscle weakness and just weird sensation in it. And I get that in my right leg as well because it's, overcompensating. I don't know. My right leg has been kind of neglected in that I keep it up and I do exercises and everything else, but it's like I know there's a lot of compensating there. And when you have nerve stuff on one side, it's really hard to balance all that out. So so what I think I'm going to start doing also is I'm rearranging my studio, and I'm going to have like just little pockets of exercise equipment. And as I pass by, just do like a couple reps of something and let that cumulative stuff, just let all that compound and gain some strength there, gain some flexibility there. And just start addressing things as I can. Because again, like if I do like a whole session, sometimes I get weird sensations and I'm not really sure what that is. So a lot of it is, I feel like I'm just kind of my own science experiment, because there have been times where like I have been able to do blocks of like full exercise sessions, and then there have been times in which I do have to like chunk it down and do small bits throughout the day, and neither one is, they're both different, but you can gain results either way. That was how I relearned how to walk. It was about a year of just doing small bouts of exercise and just trying different things, incorporating a lot of variety. And so I think I'm going to return to that, because over the last couple months in particular, and the cold weather has been really bugging me, and seasonal depression and like all that fun stuff. January and February are typically very hard for me. And so I'm usually around this time, March, like I feel like I'm starting to kind of come out of it, and like some of that fog is lifting. So I'm going to start doing some of those things. But I'm wondering, like, what have you done? Like, how are you, moving through this process? Because I'm always looking for like little things to try, and I think it'd be really cool to do some sharing in that regard. But yeah, so I think I'm going to go back to just doing things smaller, doing them throughout the day, and just kind of see where that takes me. And I'm just hoping that I don't have another flare up. But it's not just bursitis. There's like other things that are going on with my body ever since the accident. It's just, I just had a lot of weird stuff happening. And, a lot of times, doctors don't know. And like, when you have multiple injuries and you have multiple things going on, trying to pinpoint is really challenging. And it's like you just kind of have to just go with it. You just kind of have to go with it and just kind of figure out what's what as you go along. And if something works, you don't question it, you just do it. You just do it and you stick with it for a while and see where that goes. So that's kind of where I'm at with this. And, it's a bummer because I've gained some weight. It's not so much about aesthetics. It's just about how I feel in my body and how that's going to make things harder too for me. So, nutrition alone, I find that just for my body type, my genetics and everything else, nutrition alone, it gets really sticky and I have to really, really pay attention. And that alone is kind of exhausting, if I'm being honest. But as I incorporate more physical activity, that's when I really see a lot of the changes. So I'm trying to figure in exercise that I can do that won't exacerbate anything. So that's been the challenge. So that's kind of where I'm at for today. And I just want to share this real quick. But again, if you're in it too and you're having a hard time, again, if you found somebody, let me know, because I have not found anybody that's really talking about this in this kind of way. A lot of times it's usually like, yeah, I had this thing or I had this injury and I'm just pushing through and I'm just figuring out, and I feel like that it's a little bit deeper than that. And I feel like there's a lot more thought that needs to go into it, especially when multiple things are happening. So anyway, I've got to go. I've got a bunch of errands to run, but we'll pick this back up for sure. Anyway, take care. Thanks for watching. I'll see you later and happy training.